The centre court lights had barely dimmed. The echoes of the standing ovation were still reverberating through the hallowed halls of the All England Club. And then, the unthinkable happened. Wimbledon, the most prestigious tennis tournament in the world, the event where centre court tickets normally command prices of over £3,000 on the resale market, had crashed. Ticket prices plummeted to as low as $9. Yes, you read that correctly. $9. A price that wouldn't even buy you a sandwich in London. The reason? Alex Eala had exited the tournament. The 21-year-old Filipino sensation, who had taken SW19 by storm, who had dethroned defending champion Iga Świątek on centre court, who had united 115 million Filipinos in a frenzy of national pride, was gone. And with her went the demand. The tennis world was stunned. How could one player have such a massive impact on ticket prices? How could the departure of a 21-year-old from the Philippines cause a financial earthquake at the most exclusive sporting event on earth? The answer lies in a phenomenon that is now being called the Eala Effect. To understand why ticket prices crashed after Alex Eala's exit, one must first understand the phenomenon that has come to be known as the Eala Effect. This isn't just about tennis. It's about a 21-year-old woman from Quezon City, who has done what no Filipino athlete has done since Manny Pacquiao. She has united a nation of over 115 million people around a single sporting event. The Eala Effect is the unprecedented economic and cultural impact that the Filipina star has on every tournament she enters. Tournament directors have been left scrambling to adjust to the reality that where Alex Eala plays, the crowds follow. In Dubai, ticket sales soared whenever she was scheduled to play, driven by the massive Filipino population of overseas Filipino workers who turned her matches into cultural gatherings. In Melbourne and Abu Dhabi, the same pattern emerged. Her matches were moved to centre court to accommodate the surge in demand. Former pros have taken notice. On the Nothing Major podcast, Sam Querrey posed what would have sounded unthinkable a year ago: is Eala the biggest draw in women's tennis right now? Steve Johnson's answer was blunt. Yes. Bigger than Coco Gauff. Bigger than Aryna Sabalenka. The comparison isn't about results. It's about pull. And Alex Eala's pull is rewriting the business of women's tennis. The economics of the Eala Effect were on full display at Wimbledon 2026. Normally, Wimbledon ticket prices are eye-watering. The public ballot has an acceptance rate of under 5% for centre court seats. On the resale market, early round tickets start at around £1,152, with debenture seats for the gentlemen's final listed as high as £9,495. Fourth round centre court tickets typically command prices of over £3,000 on the secondary market. But when Eala was in the draw, the demand was off the charts. Hundreds of Filipino spectators packed Court 3 for her matches, waving the Philippine flag and creating an electric atmosphere that Wimbledon had never seen before. Her team and family wore shirts bearing the sampaguita, the national flower of the Philippines. It was a cultural phenomenon that transcended tennis. But then, Eala fell to Jasmine Paolini in a hard-fought 3-set battle on centre court. And the moment she walked off the court, the demand evaporated. Ticket prices crashed. Resale sites that had been listing centre court tickets for thousands of pounds suddenly had to slash prices to attract buyers. Some tickets were reportedly available for as little as $9, a price that would be unthinkable just days earlier when Eala was still in the draw. The reason for this dramatic price crash lies in the nature of Eala's fanbase. Filipinos don't just watch tennis, they show up. They queue for hours. They wave flags. They create an atmosphere that opponents have described as intimidating. At Wimbledon, queues snaked around the Grand Slam grounds whenever Eala was scheduled to play. Back home in the Philippines, viewing parties were held across the country, with the Philippine Sports Commission organizing a public watch party at the PhilSports Arena in Pasig City, where more than 100 fans gathered to cheer for the 21-year-old. At SM City Cabanatuan, around 150 Novo Ecuadorianos showed their support during a viewing party, waving miniature Philippine flags and chanting her name. The Eala effect is so powerful that even the WTA has had to adjust. Tournament directors have learned that if Eala is scheduled on an outside court, ticket demand surges, and within hours, the venue is standing room only. By the next round, she's moved to one of the show courts. Opponents have complained about the rowdiness of Filipino fans at courtside. But the numbers don't lie. Ticket sales soar whenever Eala plays. And when she exits, the crowds disappear. The crash in ticket prices after her Wimbledon exit is the most dramatic example yet of the Eala effect in action. The numbers tell the story of a phenomenon that has rewritten the economics of tennis. Let's start with the face value of Wimbledon tickets. A grounds pass costs £33 for the first 8 days of the tournament, while centre court seats range from around £70 in the early rounds to £240 to £315 for the finals. But the resale market is where the real money is. On the secondary market, early round tickets start from around £1,152, with fourth round centre court tickets commanding prices of over £3,000. Debenture seats for the finals can reach £9,495. But when Eala was in the draw, the demand was so high that tickets were being snapped up at these premium prices. Hundreds of Filipino fans were willing to pay thousands of pounds to watch their hero play. And then she exited. The demand vanished. Prices crashed. Some tickets dropped to just $9, a price that wouldn't even buy a grounds pass at the gate. It was the most dramatic demonstration of the Eala effect in action. A single player's presence could double or triple ticket prices, and her absence could reduce them to a fraction of their value. The tennis world was stunned. But the logic was simple: Alex Eala isn't just a tennis player. She's a movement. And movements don't follow the laws of supply and demand. The crash in ticket prices after Alex Eala's Wimbledon exit is more than just a financial curiosity. It's a sign of the changing landscape of professional tennis. For decades, the sport's biggest draws have been Grand Slam champions, players like Serena Williams, Roger Federer, and Rafael Nadal, who have won multiple titles and built global brands. Alex Eala is different. She has never won a Grand Slam. She's only just cracked the top 30 in the rankings. But she has something that no amount of trophies can buy: a nation of 115 million people who show up, spend money, and create an atmosphere that no other player can match. The WTA has taken notice. Eala's matches are now routinely moved to centre court to accommodate the crowds. She has become a favourite for wild-card invitations, with tournaments eager to tap into the Filipino market. Her social media engagement is staggering, outperforming other top names in men's and women's tennis. The Eala effect is rewriting the business of women's tennis, proving that stardom can follow not just trophies, but the power of a nation united behind one athlete. The $9 ticket price crash after her Wimbledon exit is a stark reminder of that power. When she plays, the world watches. When she exits, the world moves on. And the tennis world is only just beginning to understand what that means.